All right, peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. What's going on this Thursday evening? How y'all doing out there? All right, peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. What's going on this Thursday? I want to know how many of you out there saw this classic debate with Dr. Ali Muhammad versus the Nation of Islam. How many of y'all saw that? How many of y'all saw that? But what I wanted to talk about too, excuse me, what I wanted to talk about too was Passover. Peace, Keon. Peace, Keon. Peace, Tony Chiba. I see you, brothers. I see you. See you in there. James Davis. All right. Ronald Baxter. Yeah, I see you, brothers, in there. Boss Tucker. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I wanted to talk about the Passover because I have some questions for the Passover. Brother Keon, you're a Christian. You're a Christian. So, what's your cash app? Yeah, I don't really put it up no more because unless y'all ask me, I'll throw it up. I'll throw it up. Here's the cash app right here. It's in there. It's in there. Where I'm going. I'm gonna throw the link in there too in case anybody would like to come in, chop it up with me. Me and Nepal. Thanks, Boss Tucker, for the donation. Me and Nepal had a little debate / conversation last night on the Passover. And of course, she's the pro. And you know me, I was going against because I try to deal with logic a lot, you know. And when you look at the Muslims, and they have Ramadan, the Muslims have Ramadan at the same time, and all of the Muslims is Ramadaning. All over the world, wherever you at in the world, they are having Ramadan. That's a celebration. That's an anniversary. You know, they celebrating to their God. Now, when it comes to the Hebrews, and they deal with Passover, I'm thinking that being that you all read the same book, shouldn't Passover be the same way? When Passover time come, shouldn't the Hebrews all over the world celebrate Passover? Because you celebrate in a particular time that something happened, that you were free from bondage. Right? Come on, correct me if I'm wrong now. Talk black to me. You were all free at a time when you were held captive, you say, in Africa, in Egypt. So you celebrate Passover for that. So the question I have for you Israelites out there, my brothers, is how come you have all these different groups that celebrate Passover? They say, oh, Passover, this is what this happened. We celebrating it this week. Oh, no, we're going to celebrate ours next month. Oh, we celebrate Passover. See, that's the problem. I'm saying you can't do it like that. I'm saying you're not supposed to do Passover like that because you're celebrating the event that took place. It's like an anniversary. Like, say you and your wife, y'all get married on a December the 20th or December the 1st. Every year that time come around, December the 1st, that's your anniversary. That's when you celebrate your your Passover, right? Y'all get where I'm going with this? I don't really see anybody celebrating Passover, but Ramadan. No, you got my brother Deacon in the mount. Deacon right now, they were celebrating Passover yesterday. I called them up. I called them up and spoke to brother Deacon, and Deacon is celebrating Passover right now. And then I spoke to Captain Tazariak. Tazariak told me he's celebrating Passover, I think in another next month or something. I don't know, something like that. And then you're going to have GMS celebrating. I remember GMS saying, these dudes don't know what they talking about. Because why they ain't celebrating Passover? It's supposed to be at the same time. See, it's not their fault. What the problem is that the Bible is really not a history book. It's really not giving you dates and times of these events. And therefore, it leaves us to make up a date. And that's the problem. None of y'all got together to say, you know what? This is what we're going to do. This is when we're going to hold our Passover, being that there's no date in the Bible. Do y'all follow where I'm going, man? Come on, man. Sometimes your Lord got to call me out to bring this up to y'all. And hopefully maybe y'all can do that one day. I think that all the top Israelite brothers need to get out. When is the date, sir? I don't know. I have no idea, brother. I don't know when it's Passover, brother. But I do know one thing. They all should be celebrating Passover at the same time. The same way you see Ramadan and Muslims all over the world, it should be the same time all over the world. Now I know the time in different areas, time go back. We understand that. Let me, because I was talking to Apostle earlier, and let me do a quick drive-by and see if we can get this going. Because I wanted to play. Thank you for the Cash App. Oh, we got to reintroduce that. Our African scholars, we need a John G. Jackson show. A fairy tale in Africa is where we start. Yes, thank you. Let me see if I could, because I wanted to show Dr. Ali Muhammad taking on the Nation of Islam. That was a fire debate. That was fire.
Yeah, what's up, sir?
All right, Apostle. I'm live. I want you to know I'm live. Apostle. And okay. I was just talking about what me and you was talking about. How come there's the echo, brother? How come there's the echo, brother?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm on the phone, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you always be on the phone. It wasn't no echo.
It wasn't no echo.
Boy, yes, sister. What
about now?
Yes, testing.
What about now? 1, 2.
Yes, it's no, it's still an echo.
Oh, no, it's still an echo. It's
still an echo.
Maybe my mic, one of my mics are open.
Testing 1, 2.
1, 2.
Yeah, something's going on, brother.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Let me turn on speaker.
Apostle Joy. It's still echo, brother.
It's not like I'm recording you or anything.
No, it's still messed up. The echo. It's the echo.
It could be my phone, man.
Nah, it's not the phone, brother.
In Tennessee.
It's not.
I'm in Tennessee, man.
All right, it sounds better now. It's good.
Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah. So cool. We was talking about. Oh man, it went back.
Now.
Whatever you did when I was talking, it
was all right. Hold on. Let me switch it back and switch it again.
All right. Testing 1, 2.
Testing 1, 2.
No.
All right. What about now?
Testing 1, 2.
Still not good?
All right. It's good now.
No,
it went back. No,
it went back. No, it's not. Yeah. It could be my phone, man. And then again, my wife is on her phone playing a game.
All right, I tell you what.
Right here beside me.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
When I talk, put your joint on mute.
Put your joint on mute. Put it on mute right now.
All right, testing 1, 2.
All right, hold on, man.
Yeah, put your phone on mute. Let's see. No, that's not me, y'all. What are y'all talking about? My joint is good. My joint is good. I could call somebody else. Like right now, it stopped. All right, so he might be on mute. See that? So my joint is good. I do this all the time. My hookup is right. Apostle just getting a new setup and he's learning how to hook his joint up. So me and Apostle was talking about the Passover, and I was asking him, Sonetta is scared of Dr. Inky. Yeah, yes, sir. I am scared of Dr. Inky. Shout out, Inky. Check this out. Thanks for the donation too, brother. For the Passover, why is the Passover on different dates for so many Israelite brothers? Why they are not in unity when it comes to these dates? Because like I was saying, Apostle, the Passover serves for a particular event that went down. And so we celebrate the Passover at the same time every year that this event went down. And it's not being handled like that. You know, everybody's just making up their own dates. And so if we are all reading that Bible, we should all be in line and all be in, unison. I'm going to let you speak, Apostle, about that. Like, why y'all are picking and choosing the day to celebrate the Passover. You got the floor, Apostle.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Man, hear me out before you cut me off.
Yes, go ahead, because I got an echo. So I got to hear you out.
Passover, according to Exodus, is in the first month of the year, which is Abib, on the 14th day. Okay. The first month of the year. Months are determined by new moons. Okay? Months are determined by new moon. A new moon is a sliver. When you see that little sliver of light on the moon, that is the new moon. It's 2 days after the conjunction. The conjunction is no moon in the sky. For 2 days, there's no moon in the sky. Okay, so when you see the month of Abib, the problem is we cannot come together this day and time on the true month of Abib. When is it? Now, according to Jubilees or the Enoch calendar, the month is 2 weeks after the equinox. That's the first day of spring. We know the first day of spring is March 21st, according to our calendars today. That's the best we can go by, according to our calendars today. Now, certain groups have different information on when the month of Abib starts. I just gave it from my understanding. When the month of Abib starts, which is the first month of the year, which is identified by new life. So until you see the trees budding, flowers blooming, signs of new life, we know this is not the month of Abib. It's still showing death. Now, sometimes within the next 2 weeks, or as we get closer to the 21st, in Washington, D.C., you'll see the cherry blossoms coming to life. That's going to signal what they call springtime, which is new life, when things start growing again. 2 weeks after that, 2 Sabbaths after that, which would be around, I think, the end of March to the beginning of April, will be the true day of Pesach.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Put your joint on mute. Put it on mute.
Put it on mute. Right. Hold on.
Testing, make sure he on mute. Yes, he's on mute. The Passover is supposed to be about commemorating the Israelite liberation from slavery in ancient Egypt. Am I right? So the reason why y'all all have to go by the moon and all this cycle and all this other stuff is because you can't get around this. There's absolutely no real date. You don't have a date of your freedom, because if you had a date of your freedom, that's when you celebrate your Passover. Am I right? Just answer that question and let me continue on. Yes or no, Apostle? That's why it's called the Passover.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So now here's the question I'm gonna ask you. Put me back on, go back on mute. Here's the question I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna let you go on again, and I'm gonna be on mute. Is it possible that you really was not enslaved in Egypt and all of that stuff is all just made up? Because if it wasn't, that's the most important thing that the Most High God would have documented for y'all. So that therefore you wouldn't be all scattered around and everybody wouldn't be trying to celebrate it on this day or that day, because nobody knows when you were set free. And so therefore, is the book really a history book? I say no, Apostle. What do you say to that? Is it possible that you was really not enslaved in Egypt? Go ahead, brother.
No, that doesn't mean that. We were enslaved in Egypt. And we were enslaved in Egypt between 1400 BC or 1500 BC and 1200 BC, between that time. Okay? Today, because of all the stuff we went through, we don't have a documentation, especially after Babylon, going into Babylonian captivity in the 500 BC, we were not allowed to even maintain our language. That's when we started speaking Aramaic, which is a form of Paleo-Hebrew. And then we had to deal with the Roman calendar that was instituted by Caesar in 64 BC. Then we had to deal with the Greco-Roman calendar that was introduced later on, like 300 years after Christ. So that's what we have today, the Greco-Roman calendar. That's what we rely on. Now, what's the most important thing? The Bible says that we remember, that we don't forget. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what these brothers are doing. They're remembering to the best of their ability. Okay? It's the same with the Sabbath day. Some of us keep the weekly Sabbath, which is Saturday, from sunset Friday to sunset Saturday. But not all of us do that. Some of us keep the new moon Sabbath based on the new moon. And that can come any day of the week. The Sabbath could be on a Wednesday. The Sabbath could be next month on a Thursday. But each time it comes around a different day. There's brothers that celebrate that way, and then there's brothers that celebrate the Sabbath once a week. I celebrate the Sabbath once a week. Although I don't celebrate it from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. To me, the Sabbath is a day celebration, not a night celebration. You don't celebrate the Sabbath at night. You celebrate the Sabbath during the day portion, sunrise to sunset. That's why he said, and that evening and that morning, because he said from the end to the beginning. Basically, he's saying from that morning to that evening was a Sabbath day.
Okay, let me
Day
ask you
does
a
not
question.
mean 24-hour period. Day means during the daylight portion of the day.
All right,
The
let me
night
ask you a
was not
question.
called the day. The night was called a watch.
Oh man, the
Oh, man.
echo is gone. Oh,
Echo is
let me ask
gone.
you a question.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Asiatic
Asiatic
777
777
said, "You're
said,
not
you're
supposed
not supposed
to keep the
to keep
Passover
the Passover
outside of Israel
outside of Israel
because it's a sin."
because it's a sin.
Speak on that, brother.
Speak on that, brother.
I disagree. We kept the Sabbath during our slavery in Babylon. In certain times outside of Jerusalem, we were not permitted by the law of the land. We were not permitted, and we had to do things secretly. Well, that has happened before in the past, under Roman occupation, under Greek occupation. They would not allow us to practice our beliefs. And that's when it got into the Hellenist periods, and why during the Maccabean period, there was a revolt, the Maccabean War, because they revolted against the Greeks and the Romans, whatever, who was occupying Jerusalem at that time. So that's not true. Here in America, there's no law prevailing us today from keeping the Passover. So therefore, it's your choice. Now, if you feel that you don't want to celebrate the Passover in a foreign land, then by God, you don't celebrate it. You do that. You take that upon yourself. I choose to celebrate it. Or if nothing else, remember it. Acknowledge it.
Okay.
Okay.
Our sister
Our
Sakina
sister
Ra
Sakina Ra
says,
says,
how did
Jesus
celebrate the Passover?
celebrate the Passover?
The same way they did in the past, because he was under every law of Moses, and he kept every law of Moses.
Did Jesus die during
So
the
the
Passover?
same way as it was his customs,
Did he
he went
die?
into the synagogue on the Sabbath day.
Okay.
As it was his customs, he kept all the holidays.
Did he
all
die
the
during the
days. That's why
Passover?
they were
Apostle?
together.
Did Jesus die during the
Died
Passover?
during the Passover.
He died on the Passover day. That Thursday. Passover was that Wednesday night. He died that Thursday. Yes, on the cross. And that's why they had to take him down off the cross, because the feast of unleavened bread was coming in at sunset. And they had to take him off the cross. So he ate his meal. He ate the Passover meal with his disciples. He ate the meal, and then they went out into the garden and prayed after they had the meal. And they prayed all night out there until the Roman soldiers came with Judas the snake and took him into captivity and arrested him.
Okay, put your joint on mute.
And on mute.
All right.
All right. Yasha comes forth and says, it wasn't Africans that had us enslaved, sir. Isaiah 52:4. It was the Assyrians that enslaved us while in Egypt. Ask Elder about that, if you will. Oh man, I'm going to Isaiah right now. Did you hear that, Apostle? Clean that up, brother. It wasn't the Africans, he's saying. Clean that up. Let's go. Go ahead, Apostle.
Get the apostle.
Yes, it is suspected that it was the Hyksos that had went into Egypt and conquered Egypt during that time that we were there in Egypt. A king arose. A king arose that knew not Joseph. And, okay, he knew not Joseph. So this was a foreign king at the time. That king saw how the Israelites had prospered in Egypt, even better than the Egyptian. And that king told his people, come, let us deal wisely with these people before they get to thinking that they can even conquer us, because their God is favoring them so much. So while we have the strength and the power, let us deal wisely with them. So that's when they started making forcing slavery on them to make bricks without straw and treating them with harsh conditions.
Now, hold on, Apostle.
It is believed that it was a foreign king.
Now, hold on. All this, put your joint on mute. Put it on mute.
Put it on mute.
Let me do this right quick, man. All this time, Apostle, that y'all been saying it was the ancient Egyptian people who done this, but you have never brought this out until this brother bringing out, oh man, this is powerful right here. This is deep. Isaiah 52:4. It says, for thus said the Lord. This is the Lord, brother. For thus said the Lord God, my people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, and the Assyrians oppressed them without cause. Wow, bro. But all this time, y'all leading to believe and making us believe, trying to make us believe that it was the ancient Egyptians all this time, Apostle. That's why the book, I think is in Isaiah, correct me if I'm wrong, Apostle, when it says you should not, what's that scripture where it says you should not about the Egyptians, for they allowed you in their land?
Allowed you in their land.
What scripture is that again?
Deuteronomy 23.
And how it go? Quote it.
How it go? Quote it.
I think it's
Well,
Isaiah.
not an Egyptian, because you were a stranger
Right.
in the land.
Right. That's why the scripture says that right there.
That right
You
there.
should not hate an Egyptian.
This ain't the first time.
Hold on. For you was a stranger in their land.
In their land.
See?
See?
Come on, Apostle, man.
Come on,
Yo,
Apostle,
we got to
man.
clean
This
this
is
up.
not the first time I have brought up that the Hyksos, but the problem is,
I never heard you say that, brother.
yeah, well, you never listen, because I've said it many times.
Okay, you probably did.
Yeah. So, and that's just based on some teaching that I understand. But the problem is still the way the Bible teaches it, that it didn't say a foreign king did it. It was just saying the Egyptians. We came in, they accepted us. We didn't come in as slaves. No. And no one ever said we were brought into Egypt as slaves.
Yeah, but this changes everything though now, Apostle. This changes a lot.
No, we came in as guests.
Exactly.
Right. But a time came, the Bible says in Exodus chapter 1, there arose a king in Egypt that knew not Joseph. Years after Joseph died, after seeing us prosper, that king that ruled in Egypt, because he conquered Egypt, and he conquered it for over 300 years, or 200 years. That king which I believe was a Hisco's king. It happened to be a black king. He was black. As a matter of fact, he was Hebrew, not Israelite, but he was a Hebrew, just like Abraham was a Hebrew. He was from the Shemite. He was from Abraham's bowels,
So let me ask you
but
this,
not from Jacob.
Mr.
Mr.
Honor. Let me ask you this, Mr.
Let me
Honor.
ask you this, Mr. Honor.
How come
How come
there's no
there's no
evidence,
evidence,
no proof of Israelite ever being enslaved in Egypt except in the Bible? There's no proof of that in history, in real history, only in the Bible, sir. Can you answer that too for us?
That's denied.
Apostle?
That's denied.
Huh?
That's
Apostle?
denied. It's right on the Egyptians' walls, right on the walls.
Oh, no, no,
You
brother.
see us with
No.
little white aprons wrapped around us, working hard on the walls.
Yeah. So you saying that those are Israelites that's on the wall, brother? Apostle?
In some cases, yes.
Oh man, come on. You gotta back
Yeah.
that up, brother. You
In many cases,
you
yes.
gotta show proof, brother.
no proof,
You
brother?
can't just make
Well,
these
we done
statements.
show proof. Y'all don't want to accept proof, and every time
That's
we
what
show it,
yeah.
all you do is deny it.
But
so
you never show
it don't
proof.
matter.
That's why, brother.
That's
You never
why,
show
brother.
No,
proof.
because we show proof, you just deny it.
Oh,
That's
Apostle,
all.
that's not true. Do
That's
it now.
not true.
Show proof right now. Show proof right now. You ain't never show
How?
proof. That's what I'm asking you.
How?
See, you can't even do it.
You can't even do it.
How can I do it? I'm talking to you on my phone. But I get my joint fixed tomorrow. I'll join you. Ain't no problem.
Okay.
Ain't no problem.
Okay. Stay right there. You ain't
Stay
gotta
right
go.
there. You ain't gotta
Let me
go.
let me drive up on the captain to Zoriak
Zoriak
and see what he say
and
about
see what he
this.
say about this.
All right, Apostle, put your joint on mute,
Put your
Apostle.
joint on mute, Apostle.
We got the captain in the building. Captain, of course, we are live. We are talking about the Passover, Captain. Peace and blessings. Shalom to you, brother.
Shalom, what's going on, brother?
All right,
What's
we
happening?
know
What about
Captain
the
Tazoriak is one of the true brothers who will keep it real. He says that the Passover is one of the celebrations is to celebrate the Africans, demise. Am I correct in saying this, Captain?
the Passover encompasses when we triumph over the Egyptians, not all Africans, just the Egyptians, and their firstborns did die, and the death angel passed over the firstborn of Israel. That's the whole point of the term Passover.
Okay, so am I right in saying that the Passover is celebrating the death of innocent African children called the Egyptians at that time?
I mean, they would be innocent to y'all.
Well, brother, these are babies. These are children. They got to be the firstborn. No, they ain't got to be children, but the firstborn.
Yeah, they're not all children. Yeah,
Right.
So they're not children. You
Right.
have if your firstborn is 25.
That's right. I know what you're saying.
Dying.
So these are just
So the reason why I say
people, innocent people.
Well, the reason why I'm saying they innocent to Egyptians, they not innocent to us because people forget that it was our firstborn that was unalived by the Egyptians first. So this is God punishing.
You funny, brother. But why is
they were babies.
Hey,
they were babies.
Apostle, hold on. Now, let me speak to this, brother. So, Captain, why we can't find no proof, no evidence nowhere of a Israelite ever being enslaved in Egypt, brother? Why?
The proof is in the very
outside
book
of the
you read
Bible.
called.
Go ahead.
Well, see now that's like a straw man, because if we start saying where the records of Egyptians outside of the Book of the Dead or outside of their walls, you're going to say the Book of the Dead or the pyramid walls is sufficient.
But that is correct,
we
though.
talking about
But that is correct, though. See, you can see the proof right there. That is correct.
What is the proof?
The proof is when you take your behind down to ancient Egypt, to Kemet, and you can see the proof on the walls. That's the proof that a lot of stuff existed right there.
But
you can see the Trinity. You can see all of this stuff.
No, that ain't what I'm saying.
Go ahead. What you saying?
You won't find it. What I'm saying is the reason why you're saying outside of the Bible, because the Bible is Israelite culture. That's the Israelite record.
Right.
The Hebrew text is the Israelite record. So we have records
with no dates. You got records with no dates?
There ain't no date on any Egyptian pyramid either. There ain't no date there. That's the white man that came and gave y'all the dating system of what you got. So what are we talking about? So whether it's written on a wall or written on a piece of paper, it's still the record of that nation. So if you take Nubian records and you say, find me something outside of Nubia, you straw man it. So if you take them Egyptian records and say, find me something outside of their walls or the Book of the Dead, you straw man it. That
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Right. So that culture has the right to record their records. They don't need another culture to substantiate fact or fiction of their culture.
So let me ask you this question here. The Passover is celebrated because of the freedom of the Israelites being set free on a particular date, yes?
Right. Yeah.
What day is that? Because I see Israelites, hold up, let me finish. I see Israelites celebrating Passover whenever they say it's the Passover. Like right now, the deacon, see you laughing, you know I'm right. See, like right now, I see our brother the deacon, he celebrated Passover yesterday. I hit him up, I called him. He said, oh, brother Sam, we at the Passover. And then it's going to be GMS and then ISUPK, and everybody celebrate Passover a different time. Is it possible that the Passover really was not a Passover and that you was really not ever in slavery in Egypt? Because y'all would have a date, the Most High would make sure he would say, this is your date that you have been set free. Talk to me.
So the date is so the Passover is celebrated the 14th day after the beginning of the new year. So the reason why you'll see someone like Deacon celebrate it on a different date in mine is because they keep their Sabbath different than we do. So the way they calculate time is different than us.
So somebody got to be wrong, brother. Somebody got to be wrong.
Right. So we keep what we would call the traditional 7-day Sabbath. It doesn't change. So the way we count the moon cycles is different. I can't speak for how they count the moon cycle. So it's not that they're choosing the wrong day lawfully as far as the 14th day after the new year, but the way that they calculate the time and season is different than us. So they will tell you that they're doing it on the 14th day after the new year. The only difference where we disagree at is however they choose to calculate their time is different than how we choose to calculate our time. That's the difference. So we're not technically, neither one of us is doing it on a different day as far as the day that the Lord said to do it of the year, but the way that they calculate the timeline is different than us.
All right, Captain.
I would
say you have not been completely honest with us as an audience listening to you, because you would make the people believe that it was just the ancient Egyptians who enslaved your people. But I would like to steer you to Isaiah 52, verse 4, and read that and tell us what that's saying.
Okay. I'm driving, so you would have to read it.
Excuse me. All right. Isaiah 52, verse 4, it says, for thus said the Lord. Thus said the Lord. This is the Lord right here now. My people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, and the Assyrians oppressed them without a cause. So there was another group that came into Egypt that was the ones that was really oppressing you. So was it the Egyptians or was it the Assyrians?
I would have to read that.
That's why I told you, bro. Yeah, see? So you just trying to say it was just the Egyptians, but there was other people there, brother.
I would have to get the context to see if that's talking about during the time of the Passover or if it was talking about the
see,
time
you owe the
after
ancient Egyptian brothers like Jabari, me, Reggie, and all of us an apology on that, brother. Because you've been banging on the Egyptians for a long time.
No, I don't. We just have to look at the context of Isaiah 52 to see if it's talking about current or the Passover. That's all. So I would just have to cross-reference it.
Okay, just remember Isaiah 52 verse 4 when you get a chance.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, what's up, brother? You driving back, coming back to New York?
No, I'm not driving back. So now, in Isaiah 52 and 4, when it says, when you read it, I'm not coming back until Sunday.
Okay.
So when you actually read it, when it says, my people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, there's a semicolon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, and the Assyrians oppressed them without cause. The reason why you see it's talking about Egypt and Assyria is referencing both captivities. So Isaiah is coming, Assyrian captivity happened after Egypt.
Now, who is the Assyrian people? Who are they?
That's a different set of people. I was separate from the Egyptians.
Who are they today?
So
who would they be today?
I believe I couldn't say off the top of my head who they were.
Okay.
But when you go to Isaiah the 14th, when you go to Isaiah the 14th chapter, that's when it's talking about.
Hey, go on mute, Apostle. You got him echo.
Apostle, you got him.
Go ahead.
That's when it's referencing. That's when it's referencing that captivity. So that wouldn't be saying that Assyrians was with the Egyptians. That's saying that's referencing the Egyptian captivity.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Honor is saying that. Oh, not Mr. Honor, but somebody else is saying that those are two separate time periods in the order. Oh, yeah. Mr. Honor said two separate captives. Yeah, two separate captives.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay. Mr. Honor said there's two separate captives. Okay, Captain. Yeah. So, man, peace and blessings to you, brother. When is y'all celebrating y'all Passover coming up?
April 12th.
Okay, April 12th. You should. No, damn, I'm getting ready to get caught up and say something crazy. I was about to say you should celebrate it in April 6th, but that's my birthday. I don't want you celebrating no Passover in April 6th, brother. Celebrating the death of I can't have you doing that.
Oh, celebrating the death of them little
come
African
on, man.
Egyptian babies, man, or adults and shit. Yeah, man.
Let me
ask you this, let me ask you a question. If there was if we get out of, let's say, if it was the white man and with what he's done, and then part of our celebration is celebrating the death of his firstborn, as we celebrate our liberation, would you celebrate that?
No. I'm a humanitarian, man, and I love my people, man. I'm not going to kill. I'm not going to celebrate the death of innocent children or people, brother. At one point in my life, I was crazy like that, and I said, "Yeah, get them and do that." But now, nah, brother, I can't do that, man. It makes me just as wicked as them, and that's what you don't see, Captain. Y'all have become just as wicked as the devil, brother.
Judgment is judgment. If someone let's say if someone harms somebody and the judgment is for them to go in prison, that's judgment. If someone, listen, if you steal, let's say if I robbed a bank and got $100,000 and then use that money to help my family get a house, get a business. When they find me and convict me, my family loses that house and that business, no matter what greatness or goodness that they did.
That's true.
Because they got it unrighteously.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these people that have enslaved black people, and even the Egyptians, as they built that in enslavement, they got that unrighteously as well.
Good point. Good point. I make that point sometime. Good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. Hey, check this out real quick, man. I got this video where this white pastor invited Vocab Malone into his congregation, and Vocab showed up with an FBI agent. to discuss Hebrew Israelites. The name of the video is Response to Eric Hoven's Black Hebrew Israelites, called Biblical, what's that, baby? Biblical Defenders. Vocab is with the FBI.
All right, that don't mean nothing. You are with the Most High.
Oh, with the Most
So
High.
what?
No, I'm just, no. Okay, you say it don't mean
Who's
that.
more powerful,
saying-
the FBI or the Most High, brother?
I am the Most High, brother.
The Most High just let that information out. So who you think is more powerful?
All right, there you go. There you go.
Here you go.
Hey, Cap. Hey, you
That's
want to
right,
ask the
because
captain
I didn't
any
know
question,
that.
Apostle, before you go?
Question the Apostle before you go?
No. Like I said, between late March and early April.
Okay. All right. Hey, Captain.
That's
Thank you,
when you
man.
notify
Y'all be
most.
easy, man.
Drive safe, brother.
Drive safe, brother.
All right, thank you, brother. Y'all take care.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Safe
So,
travel.
yes, Apostle.
Yes,
Like I was
Apostle.
saying,
Like I was saying,
go on mute, Apostle. Go on mute.
Go on mute, Apostle. Go on mute.
All right.
We have to stop being afraid of stuff like that, because so what? He showed up with an FBI agent. Do that mean he's an FBI agent now? No. You got cop friends. Don't you know some cops? I know a lot of cops. And if they off duty and we walking together, do that mean, oh, Sarnetta's a cop? He's an agent because he knows some cops. Come on, brother. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Bruh, I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm just making my people aware of
Right,
information,
I got you. Mhm.
informing them.
I got you.
I don't care who vocab. I'm just letting you know.
The truth of the
Okay.
matter is, a lot of y'all scared of
Vocab
vocab.
showed up
A lot of y'all
church
scared of
to
vocab.
discuss
The vocab.
I'm not scared of vocab. I've faced him many times, even on his channel. He's never come to my channel. Okay?
If you want, I get them over there.
I faced vocab on your own channel and whipped him.
If you want, I
on
get
your
them
own
over there,
channel.
brother. I get them
Over
over
there,
there.
brother.
Huh?
If you
You
want, I
can do
get
what you
them over
want to
there.
do.
Come over there.
You can do what you want to do. I'm not interested in really talking to vocab right now.
Okay.
I did that already.
Hey, go on mute for 1 minute. I want
Come mute for 1 minute. I
I
want
want to show everybody what's coming up. It's debate weekend coming up, and boy, oh boy, do I have a goodie for y'all. All right, we already know when Captain get back in town. We already know he will be sitting down with the Pastor Manning, going at it head to head. Pause, y'all. Head to head. Pause, y'all. Was the birth of Jesus Christ a miracle birth, or is Joseph the father? And there's going to be another debate like that. There's going to be another debate like that before Captain, because the Israelites believe that Joseph was indeed the father. So does Apostle. Apostle also believed that Joseph was the father, that he's the one that impregnated Mary. But guess what? We got another debate like that that's damn near similar to the same title, and it's going down this Sunday with Deacon Hakkad. And of course, the HOK champion. Deacon Hakkad will be sitting across from Nepal Shaddai, and they will be getting into Deacon Hakkad and Nepal Shaddai discuss, was Mary a virgin when she gave birth to Jesus? That's going to be fire right there. Y'all don't want to miss that. That is going down this Sunday at 6 p.m. sharp. But before that, even before that go down, this is debate weekend coming up, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the HOK Coliseum. Can somebody drop that link in there for me? The HOK Coliseum, right? And right before that, oh man, we got Elder Yara going up against Reginald Denny. So Reginald, I mean. So this right here is going to be a tough one for my brother Elder Yara, and he's going to have to prove the existence of Jesus Christ outside of the Bible, because my brother Reginald is saying that Jesus only exists in the Bible, not outside of the Bible. That's going down Sunday the 16th as well. And that right there, Apostle, you were right. It says 1 o'clock on there. I thought it was 2 o'clock, but we'll find out when Sunday gets here. So we got the debate weekend coming up, y'all. Show some love. Now I'm doing this again. I'm trying to see if my people show some love and support me But if y'all don't support and your cash apps or donations, 5, it don't matter. 10, show some love. I'm gonna have to go back to the paid per view. So you want to show that. You want to give some love for that, some support. All right, Apostle, what do you think about? Oh, hold up, damn, I almost forgot. This Saturday, damn, the debate weekend. This Saturday, March 15th, 8 p.m. The Holy Ghost going up against Yasha. All right, is salvation for the Jews only or Jews and Gentiles? That's going down as well this Saturday. I would play this one right here that y'all didn't get to see yet, but that's on my Patreon page. So I don't want to mess it up for my Patreon. That right there was an awesome debate right there. Our champion, Brother Jabari, put the Floyd Mayweather smackdown on 3 of these people here. Nepal Shaddai, Elder Yara, and the Gorilla Hebrew. And Jabari Osaze came in with the belt and walked out with the belt. Still remained the champion of all champs. All right, Apostle, you want to talk about any debate that you see coming up? What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I saw Reginald today
Okay.
hyping up. Yeah.
Oh, you saw him hyping up the debate?
Yeah, on his channel.
Yeah. Uh-huh. What do you think? What do you think?
So, I think he's mastery, and he's putting Yara in an underdog position.
Yep. yeah. And you know what? Cesarion said, if I was Elder Yara, I wouldn't even took that debate. He said, why did he take that?
Right.
Yep.
Right. Because that's the foundation of our faith.
Right.
And it's not the Most High's will that we prove that Christ existed or even that he exists. We are to share the gospel with those that are willing to hear it. And if they don't want to hear it, shake the dust off your feet and move on.
Well, you know, this is where y'all get beat up on. That's all. Because if Yara go down, you on that branch with him.
You on that branch
with him. You on them branches.
I'm not on no bridge with y'all.
I said branch.
I'm not
you on the branch.
Like I say, I'm gonna support.
Doesn't it say that the branches that those are bad branches that fell off the trees? It says that. And it was talking about the Israelites, brother.
No. It's just talking about Israelites. But like I say, God, the Most High, know who is chosen and who is not. And he's coming to separate the wheat and the tare. That means fake Israelites from righteous Israelites also. So, there's a lot of Israelites that don't believe. Reggie is one of them. He's a non-believing Israelite. You are a non-believing Israelite. And do you know, to go to your death rejecting the Most High is to blaspheme the Holy Ghost? Because you cannot be saved. If you reject the Most High to death, you can't be saved afterwards.
You see that? You
You're
sound
supposed to accept him while you was alive.
You sound fearful. That's what this thing is all about.
That has nothing to do with being fearful.
Planting fear into you, man. And
It's
those of y'all
fearful.
who don't believe, those of y'all who believe in it, you believe it because you in fear. That if we don't become this is what God is going to do. The mystery God is going to do.
Mystery God.
Come on, brother.
Come on, I'm not. No. Joy brought me to where I'm at, and joy cancels out fear. Love brought me to where I'm at, and love cancels out fear. I have no fear of nothing. No man, no nothing. That which I see or that which I can't see. I fear it not. No. Joy brought me to where I'm at, man. The fact that I can live again. The fact that I can breathe again. The fact that I can wake up in the morning and know that I didn't bring no harm to anybody last night because of the conditioned state of my mind. No, this ain't got nothing to do with fear. I used to be afraid. No.
Okay. So
You
real
don't
quick,
live to be 70 years old and be afraid, man.
real quick,
And
let me
incidentally,
show
just let me show you. My brother's birthday is April the 6th. He's deceased now. He would be 70.
Oh man, we the same day, brother.
The same day, brother.
Yeah. When y'all heard you say that, that's my brother's birthday, April 6th.
Yeah, peace and blessings
He
to him,
was
man.
73 today if he was alive.
Yeah, may he rest
Go
in
ahead.
peace, brother. That's what's up,
Okay.
man. Okay, so what I want to
Rest in
do
peace,
is let me reintroduce y'all to our brother Reggie, who will be taking on Elder Yara this Sunday.
Hey, good morning, family. So this is
And I
Reginald Martin
think
here
Elder
of
Yara,
Metaphysics Sacred Alchemy, where ancient wisdom becomes modern.
I think Elder Yara is underestimating this brother, and so here you go.
So I'm getting ready to go out on my walk today, but I wanted to address
It's the one
some
you
of the
seen,
things
Apostle?
that are being said in the comments of my last two videos, and really coming from a lot of hostile Christians.
Apostle, is this the one you saw? Or you saw the one when he was in the car? All right, Apostle's busy.
They are so funny. But yeah, they can be nasty too. So
Yes,
man.
sir.
But anyway,
Yep.
but the idea is that Jesus is not historical, okay? And so that is the premise. And I issued a challenge for debate, okay? So a person has accepted the debate. So to let you guys know, we're going to be on Sonetter TV, so YouTube, Sonetter TV, at 12 noon Central Time this coming Sunday. So that'll be the 16th, okay, the 16th of March. All right. So 12 noon Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. I think that might be a 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock GMT. Somewhere around, because I know daylight saving times will change an hour here and there for us. Okay, so you might have to look that up. But so the rules of the debate is that you must have a legal standard of beyond a reasonable doubt. So I got notes here, so I'm looking at these, family. So but beyond a reasonable doubt is the standard. So we're using a legal standard. Faith is not evidence. Theology is not history. You must provide direct, external historical proof, okay? You cannot use the Bible or any sources based on the Bible, any reference to Jesus that relies on scripture. You cannot use church writings or theological interpretations or religious tradition, okay? So no faith-based writings in any of that. So Apocrypha, all of those kind of things, okay? So none of those things can be used. You must provide external, independent historical evidence that proves Jesus existed. Contemporary, so in his time, the time that he supposedly lived, okay, contemporary eyewitness documentation written during his lifetime, okay, his supposed lifetime. They make sure I get that, because I know these brothers here, boy, they'll take a word and they'll twist it inside and out. So they live to argue and debate. But anyway, you must provide Roman, Jewish, or historical records that verify his existence. Okay? So the burden of proof is on you to verify that he exists. And this is what gets me a lot of times, family, is that Christians will come in the comments. So I don't know how many of us have had Christians that will use their fear tactics on, oh, you better get right with God, or you better get right with Jesus, or, you know, the world is coming to an end. And
that is just what Apostle did. Apostle did that to me just now, trying to put fear into me, say, oh man, if you die before this and this and that. That's exactly what Apostle just did.
And, you know, you need to have your faith in Jesus. And, you know, they use all of these tactics based on their faith. Okay? In other words, we need to have faith just like them. All right? So I'm telling you that I don't believe. But then somebody will come to me and say into the comments and go, you need to prove he don't exist. Why the hell do I need to prove he doesn't exist when I'm telling you I don't believe he does? Why do I need to prove that? So in other words, they're asking me to prove that their faith is not real. And family, this is the deal. And I have said this many times on many videos. Christian faith does not need anybody's proof or validation. If you want to believe in Jesus, then you believe in Jesus. You don't need to prove that. Your faith is not something that you need to prove to me. Okay? I have said that plenty of times. Okay? Now I know everybody doesn't watch every video, so I get that. But that's where I come from on this channel. Christians don't have to prove their faith to me, or anybody else for that matter, because it is a faith. It's a belief, okay? It's what they choose to believe and have faith in, okay? So they don't have to prove that to anybody. But if you're coming to me and telling me I need to get right with God and telling me I need to do this, all these things that Christians do to us that don't believe or who they don't think believe the right way, then family, whoever that Christian is, they need to prove that Jesus existed. And they need to prove that to me. I don't need to prove their faith. I don't need to disprove what I already don't believe.
Right.
I mean,
Right. I agree.
How crazy is that? You know? So over and over, I hear this, okay? So what I want to do today as well is I want to help some of my brothers and sisters that are deconstructing, that I know, family, that they're dealing with a lot in trying to overcome this negative programming. And my channel, is not about tearing down Christianity. I'm not anti-Christian, okay? Because again, I believe people's beliefs are their own, and what they want to believe is how they're going to create their reality, and that's what it's based on. So your beliefs, a lot of times not a lot of times, beliefs are subjective, okay? So in this instance, it is not incumbent upon anybody to prove what they believe. So what I talk about is if your life is not going as you wish, then your beliefs are the culprit, okay? And if you want to change your life, you have to change your beliefs. Your internal environment is what's being projected outside of you as life, okay? That's what the ancients were teaching, okay? That your internal environment, your internal vibrational essence is what's being projected outside as your life. So life becomes your feedback, okay? So you don't have to prove belief. You don't have to prove faith. It's yours, okay? But if you want me to believe it, and I'm telling you I don't, it's your damn job to prove it, okay? Yours, all right? So any Christian, this is what I'm saying. I do not need to prove your faith or try to disprove your faith, because I know you want to believe that. It will be impossible to disprove something that somebody wants to believe. But if somebody is looking for truth, that is a totally different matter. If you're looking for independent evidence that Jesus has existed, that's a totally different matter, okay? So I want to handle a couple of these things that people bring up all the time, you know. And the first one I had mentioned before is, so we talk about the standard is eyewitness evidence. Okay, family, I'm gonna have to hang on here a little bit because we got a tractor. He's doing his cut. So let me come back, okay? I'll let him pass by. All right, so it looks like he passed by, so, or he's I guess he's probably going to be making his rounds and coming back, but I don't know. But anyway, so again, the standard is family that it has to be external, independent historical evidence that proves Jesus existed. Contemporary, this is the key, family. Contemporary eyewitness documentation written during his lifetime. Contemporary eyewitness documentation written during his lifetime, and then Roman and Jewish historical records verifying his existence. Okay, so do you absolutely know that there is no verifiable records that exist that says that the Romans crucified Jesus? I mean, this was supposedly a huge event, family. There's no records that verify this anywhere in history. None. Okay, zero. All right. So that's the standard. Where is, if this was historical, when did it happen and where are the records? Okay. And what Christians will do is simply use the Bible to prove their faith. Okay. They use circular logic. Here is the scripture that says Jesus exists. And because this scripture is in the Bible, then that means he had to exist. No. Just because it's written in your religious book of faith does not verify his existence. A religious book of faith is just that, a book of faith, okay? Not historical, okay? Somebody said, well, the Bible is historical. Well, hell, we talk about the Bible in history, but the book itself is not historical. I mean, some of the craziest comments, man, it's just, they're laughable.
Hey, brother, excuse me, brother Max Bird, can you please post the brother YouTube channel in the link? Oh, okay, I see it. There you go. Because thank you, Max Bird, you're already ahead of me. Because for some reason, I'm trying to share his link and it's not posting up. So I got to probably restart my joint. Thank you, Max Bird. Make sure y'all subscribe to my brother Reginald. This brother gets it in. Sometime he be up there with his daughter. Him and his daughter be going in and teaching, so that's very powerful as well. So let me finish this off.
So let's talk about, so one of the first ones, and like I said, I had mentioned him before, was Josephus and the Flavianum Testimonium, okay? And so again, the standard is eyewitness accounts written during his lifetimes. Now, first things first, the Flavianum Testimonium has been proven to be a forgery.
Uh-oh. Okay? Uh-oh.
And even if it wasn't a forgery, it was written supposedly in 93 to 94 CE. Okay? When did Jesus supposedly die? 33 CE? I don't know, depending on what age you want to use, I guess. So that was supposedly 60 years after his supposed life. Okay? So it wasn't an eyewitness account. So that was the Flavianum Testimonium. It was an eyewitness. And this is what apologists will use over and over, okay? Another one they will use is Tacitus, okay? Tacitus was a Roman historian. And he wrote something, he said, Christus is from whom the name Christians has had its origins. Suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of one of procurators, Pontius Pilate. Okay. Now, this was in 116 CE, family. 116 CE. And when did we say Jesus? Let's just say, just for the sake of argument, it was 33 CE that he supposedly died. Okay. This is almost 100 years later. This is the 80, 90 years later that he's talking about this, okay? Now, he's not saying that Jesus existed. He's saying what he knew people probably believed back in that day. So this is why it doesn't prove that he existed, okay? First of all, Tacitus was born in 56 CE, which was after Jesus, so he couldn't have been an eyewitness. More than 20 years after the supposed birth, he could not have been an eyewitness, okay? He does not cite any official Roman records. Instead, he is likely repeating what Christians in his time believed, okay? He's just repeating beliefs, all right?
Come on, Brother Gideon. You know this brother Reginald is nothing like no Billy Carson, brother. He's sound on the ground. He is sound on the ground, and he's coming with logic. He's coming with logic the way I come with it. And so come on, Brother Gideon. That's not being fair, brother. This brother is not spooking nothing out. And see, what you're doing is falling into the trap that he said y'all would do. You falling right into it. So I want to debate if Jesus is a real, set it up. If Jesus is real, set it up. I'll cook him. Y'all always say the same stuff, man. And then you get in here and drop the ball. You wouldn't even get past me. A lot of you can't even get past me on this stuff. You know? You can't get past me. You got to get through the baby. Get past the baby first, man, before I bring you to the scholars. Y'all should want good. Long time. Okay, let's go. Let's finish. I got Elder Yara getting ready to make a way in. Yara want to come in and let the people know there's no fear. He got this. So let's continue with the brother.
Original manuscript of Tacitus' Annals exists. So nothing that he even supposedly wrote this in exists, okay? The earliest copies from Christian-controlled sources in the Middle Ages, over 1,000 years later, okay? So the original nobody has. But 1,000 years later, oh, look at this. This Roman dude talked about Jesus and what was happening back then, okay? So he wasn't an eyewitness, and no original from his annals or what he supposedly wrote exists. The only thing that exists is from the Middle Ages, and it was controlled by Christians. Okay? All right. Make your own mind up on that. So Tacitus was not even an eyewitness. He simply recorded what Christians of his time believed, making his account secondary hearsay, not historical proof. Okay?
All right. Mr. Arnold, no, brother. So I know you're in favor of those who speak against the Bible. Nah, brother. No, sir. If this brother, like Captain Tazariak beat up a lot of people. He beat up a lot of people, but it's only one man that he have not touched yet and beat up, and that is our champion. That is the HOK champion. The facts is the facts. It's not that I'm being biased. Captain Tazariak could not put on the shoes of our Professor Floyd Mayweather, Brother Jabari Osaze. He can't, man. He can't come close to them because Jabari comes with scholarship. The captain comes with belief. And the captain, I gave him this term where the captain is like a slippery eel. Have y'all ever tried to catch an eel with your hands? Have you ever tried to catch an eel with your hands? The eel, you ain't gonna be able to get him because he slips through your hands. He's so slimy that he slips right through. And that's how the captain is. He's slippery. Now, captain will catch you if you're not on your game, like he caught everybody else. But when it came to Jabari, come on, man. Jabari did the LeBron James on him, threw it down in his face, slam dunked on him. You know, did the Kobe and the Shaq on him. Come on, man. He did the goddamn Jalen Brunson on him, like dancing through the middle and sliding and then throwing up the layup. That's how Jabari is with them. When it comes to the Israelites, no Israelite could see our champion Jabari. And that's why he remains with the belt. I'm sorry. I don't like it. but it's the truth, man.
So let's handle another one. Lucian of Samosata. Okay, so he was a satirist back in from CE 125 to 180. Okay, he was a satirist, not a historian. Lucian was a Greek satirist who mocked Christians in the passing of Peregrinus, saying, "The Christians, worship a man to this day, the distinguished personage who introduced their novel rites and was crucified on that account." Okay? Now, this dude he was making fun of Christians. Now, that line might not have been making fun of Christians, but okay, I don't know the context of that line. Okay? But this is what they take to prove that Jesus existed. This one line. Okay? Why does this not prove Jesus existed? Lucian was not a historian. He was a satirist who ridiculed Christians. He was born nearly a century after Jesus was supposed to have lived. So his statements are based on what Christians believed in his time, not on first-hand evidence. Let me go back to the standard here. What's this? External independent historical evidence, contemporary eyewitness documentation. This doesn't fit the bill. So he does not provide any new historical information about Jesus. He simply acknowledges that Christians worship someone who was crucified. So did Christians exist back then? Yeah. Did believers exist back then? Yeah. But it still doesn't prove that Jesus existed, that what they believed in existed. Still doesn't prove it. Okay. So another one. Okay. So Celsus, okay, from 175 CE. So he was a critic of Christianity, not a historian. Okay. But Celsus was a Greek philosopher who wrote The True Word, Attacking Christianity. So that was the name of his book, The True Word. He said Christians believed in Jesus as a miracle worker and that his mother was a poor woman accused of adultery. Why does this not prove Jesus existed? Celsus was writing 150 years after Jesus supposedly lived. What was the standard of an eyewitness, contemporary writings when Jesus supposedly lived? Okay. Does that fit the bill? No. Okay. He never claims to have seen Jesus or spoken to anyone who did. He is only repeating Christian beliefs, not verifying them with historical evidence. His argument is theological, not historical. He is debating Christian doctrine, not confirming a historical figure. All right, family? So this is what we're going. So Celsus criticized Christian beliefs, but he did not verify Jesus' existence. He only engaged in theological arguments with Christians. That is not historical proof, okay? So me and this dude is supposed to be going to debate this week or this Sunday. Just because we're debating don't mean Jesus existed. Just because he believed and has faith doesn't confirm his existence. Same thing back then, okay? But again, it wasn't eyewitness account. It was in CE 175. That was hundred of years and more after the supposed death. This is what they're using in saying is verification, family. No eyewitness account. Not one. Not one. Okay? Mara Bar Serapion. Okay? That Serapion name is interesting. I know a few of us know that name, huh?
All right, we got Elder Yara. Elder Yara. Captain Tazariak. Your brother Captain Tazariak. Your brother Apostle. Now, I don't know how Brother Gideon feels. Gideon feels that he's just another Billy Carson. But Captain Tazariak and Apostle said, you might be in over your head, brother, with this brother here, man. They ain't say those words. I'm just paraphrasing what they saying, that you might be in over your head. They said they don't know if they would have took this debate. That's the words that they said. But I'm saying, in other words, that's what they saying. You might be in over your head on this one. What do you got to say about this, brother?
Yeah, first of all, giving all praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to Yeshua Mashiach, our rabbi and great teacher. Peace to you, Sarnetta, HOK family. to those brothers, they are brothers who are outstanding in their own right. But as I expressed to you, Sarnetta, there's no other Israelite that could honestly take this debate.
Right.
I told you that off the bat.
Yep.
I told you also that this is not a debate that you could approach from only understanding the biblical narrative. And what you have is you have a lot of brothers that's all that they study. And I understand that because that's their wheelhouse. That's what they do. So I don't take anything away from those brothers. But I want to say this as well, is that the reason why these debates are consistently being had is Jesus a historical figure, right? It's not a new topic. But the reason why it's consistently being had is not because of those of us Hebrew Israelites or maybe even some Christians who obviously take that position, but these are people who have been questioning their faith. These are questions of people who are confused about who they are and what their spiritual walk and journey is. And so oftentimes when they find themselves being in a religion or coming out of a religion, right, where Jesus was the center character, right, or the main person of that particular religion, when they come out of that, that's all that they know. And so the questions that they have is, well, how can I prove that this guy even exists? And so this brother, Reginald Martin, he's no different from any other person who has questions about his own faith. He needs answers. He needs answers. And so what happens is you get a lot of people like him. They're not strong enough to stand on their own square. So what they do is they create things or scenarios or these other questions and debates, and they look for people to agree with them so they don't feel as if they are on an island or alone, right? Because he's searching. See, a spiritual journey and a search for spirituality and understanding who you are in relations to a deity or in relation to the universe, that's a walk that you must walk alone. A lot of these guys don't have it in them to walk that spiritual path alone. So they have to have these debates. Prove to me without a reasonable doubt. That's what he says. Prove to me without a reasonable doubt. You can't use the Bible. You can't use anybody that's talking about the Bible. You can't use anybody that's that believes in the Bible. To me, and I told him to his face, I smell fear. I smell fear. Because when you truly come out of something, you truly say, I'm free of something, it doesn't matter what they put in front of you. I told many people before, hey, I'll burn the Bible. Give me a Bible. I'll add a match to it today. You know why? Because it won't change my faith. It won't change what I know is truth. See, he's still a man trying to walk a journey, and I get that. But I'm going to help him get there Sunday. See, this is what we call, he wants to put everything out there, right? So he'll do a video. He'll talk about Mara ben Serapion. He'll talk about Tacitus. He'll talk about Josephus. And each one of these, he's only doing surface level research from what I just say him presented. This is only surface level research. So I will say this, and I said this, I believe I said this to you. He's no Jabari. I give Jabari much respect. He's no Jabari, right? He's no Tahuti. I give him much respect. He's no Ray Hagan. He's not, right? What he is a disgruntled Christian. He's a disgruntled Christian. So I've read snippets of his book, right? He has a lot of fallacious arguments in his book. A lot of different things that's going to be easily exposed, right? I'm going to show him the flaw that he has even in the premise of this debate. I don't even think he understands it himself, but I'm going to teach him something come Sunday about the flaw in the premise in the premise of this debate that he wants to have. So when people say Sarnetta is a Christian channel, Sarnetta is a Hebrew Israelite channel, no, let them know, sir, we're being challenged. We're just stepping up to the plate.
That's right. That's right.
So don't put that on Sarnetta. Oh, this is a Christian channel. This is a Hebrew Israelite channel. No, they're calling us out. You know why? Because they want answers.
Good point. Good point. Okay,
I'm
good
gonna give him his
point.
answers. I'm gonna give him the answers he's looking for. So, it's gonna be an interesting debate. He doesn't want me to quote Bible scripture. I won't quote Bible scripture. I won't do it. I don't have to do it. And I'm gonna show. Here's the problem. A lot of these guys, they call themselves independent researchers, right? But being an independent researcher doesn't make you an academic, and it doesn't make you a scholar. And so they're attempting as independent researchers to have scholastic and academic debates, which in all earnest, if they were attempting to be academic or scholarly, they wouldn't even have this particular debate. That's why I'm telling you, this is about a question of his faith and his walk. This is a personal journey he's on. And every now and then, I get it. Some people need a little push. They need a little help. They don't know where to go. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know where to go. So he puts out this challenge that he thinks no one can beat or can usurp, because he has to convince himself that him leaving Christianity or that him leaving Yeshua, Yahushua behind, that he made the right decision. This is a personal thing for him. He needs to convince himself that he's making the right statements and the right choices. And he's finding the right things in his personal research. See, misery loves company. And that holds true to a lot of these disgruntled Christians. They're miserable because their whole life they've realized that they've been living a lie of Christianity. And now that when they're confronted with things, they don't know where to go. And they don't know what to do. But I'm going to teach him. I'll help him get where he needs to be. Whether he accepts it or not, he'll have the seeds to build on. But at the end of the day, this is a scared guy. He's scared. He doesn't know what to believe. I'm gonna just be honest with you. He doesn't know what to believe. So I hope I hope he's ready. When he shows up, he's not going to present anything that I haven't heard before. He thinks he's presented some things that he has to go to this because he feels like, since I agreed to not go into the Bible, and see, this is where I think where Captain Tazariak them fail a lot of times, is because they feel that the Bible is the end all to be all when it comes to truth and understanding. But what happens, Captain Tazariak, when they take your Bible away? It has happened in history. What do they do? What do you do? What do you do? So, this guy, this is his call. We didn't go looking for him. Nobody went looking for him. but he needs the help. So I'm gonna give him what he's asking for.
All right, let me say this. Commander in the back, you got a cam up. Let me see who you are. If I don't know you. Oh, that's the brother. That's the brother. All right.
Yeah, shalom, family.
Peace, shalom, brother. Yasser.
There he is.
I have to jump over to the elder. You know how it is, Elder Yara.
In the building.
Yeah, we have another debate coming up with this brother right here, Yasha. Like Elder Yara was saying, it's not a Hebrew channel. It's not a Christian channel. It's
Right.
that y'all, all you other brothers, y'all got to come forth and say, yo, Saul, we need to do something. Let's do this. See,
Right.
if y'all do that, y'all got the platform. Y'all can come on. You know, but y'all the one that's running. So the Israelites is out there. They ready to take on any challenge y'all got concerning this book, the Torah, and they willing to stand on it. So y'all got to be the one to come through. But you see, just like Pastor Manning putting on his big boy shoes, he said, yo, I'm getting ready to take down Cesaria. I know this gonna be a funny debate right here. I could just imagine this one right here, and then we got Nepal Shaddah getting in the ring with a top tier, a heavy hitter.
Fire right there.
Hakkad. Getting in the ring with Deacon Hakkad, man. So this is going to be an excellent show, y'all. It's the debate weekend for y'all. That's what I'm talking about. And then we got our brother right here that's on the screen getting ready to go up against the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost is a character as well. So this is going to be a good one. Yeah, that's going to be a good one right there. So what's going on, Commander? You ready for this?
Oh yeah. I just got a few more things. I just got to fine tune and ready to go.
Now you know there's absolutely no profanity.
Right.
There's no slandering. It's all information. All we want is information. No cursing each other out, and of course you already know how the rules go. No talking on each other's time and stuff like that. So y'all can still be as hard as you want, pause, and go in. Just no profanity.
Oh yeah, I'm good in that. And when we get in the ring, it's a different ball game.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, you definitely showed me. You definitely showed me something yesterday. I didn't know you had it in you, man. I was like, damn. You know, you was killing the questions I was coming up with. You know, you was doing your thing on that.
I don't know everything, but I got a few answers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now shout out to my elder though. You know what I mean, Elder Yara.
Earlier, man.
Hey, Elder Yara is one of my elders who I actually learned from. So trust me, when you see me get in the ring, you're gonna see some of his styles up in there.
Well, earlier, me and Apostle was on earlier, and we was talking about the Passover. And the Passover is a celebration of a particular day and time when the Israelites was set free, when they was free from bondage. When is the Passover to you, Elder Yara? And the same question for you, General Hashah. When is y'all Passover, and why is the Passover being celebrated on so many different dates by Israelites when it should be like you see the Hebrew, like you see the Muslims, they celebrate Ramadan. Muslims all over the world celebrate Ramadan on that day of the Ramadan. And that's why I was telling Paul that how come the Israelites are not celebrating the Passover all over the world on that day, just like that? And I came up with this answer. Is it because y'all really was not enslaved in Egypt? And if you was, why is the Most High God making it so hard and difficult for all of y'all to get on the same page to say, this is the date that we set you free? Any one of y'all can start. It don't matter.
You got it, Elder.
Okay. Yeah. You know, for me, a bit historically speaking, when the Israelites were captives in Babylon, there was always a contention about the calendaring of certain days, right? They had contentions over when the Shabbat was, when the Sabbath was. They had contentions over when certain things were to be observed. And so coming out of that captivity, there was always sort of like two dates kept or two different ideas that were running parallel because you had different ideas among the priesthood. So those things filter out even more now contemporary. So you still have people making those same arguments. Well, should it be on this day? Should it be on that day? But the scripture does clearly give us an idea and an understanding of Passover. Now, if you go back a little bit, historically speaking, you can see some remnants of quote unquote a Passover in the study of what they call Assyriology, right? It didn't mean the same for them as it does for us, but
Excuse me.
still
That's
have some of
Nepal.
the same
That's
elements.
Nepal in the Coliseum, y'all. So in case y'all want to know, remember I started off by saying
Oh,
me
okay.
and Nepal had this discussion last night when the Apostle was on. Me and her was going in on this last night. So
Okay.
and she did say the exact same thing that you're saying. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. See, that's why I like, you know what I'm saying? That's who I know, Sonetta, who's actually studying and really, how you doing? What's up? You can speak to me. How you doing? It's going on. What's happening? Yeah, it was good. No, she's not on here. I'll tell her. My wife asked Sister to pot a car. But anyway, let me get back to it. But she's absolutely right, and this is what I'm saying. If you really get into the study of it, not just the arguments that you see going back and forth, it has that element to it. Like coming out of Babylonian captivity, our calendar was all messed up. They was all arguing the different because they didn't allow us. They didn't allow us to keep some of our days. So some people, oftentimes, coming out of that, as we see, as a matter of fact, during the time of this is why it's a question. This is why it's a question when it comes to when was Jesus crucified? Was it a Wednesday or was it a Friday? What was it on a Sabbath day? What Sabbath day it was? That's because of that coming out of the Babylonian captivity. They really had no idea of which Sabbath day to keep, so they kept both. It was a contention about which day it actually was. So they kept both just in case they were wrong. They were wrong on one, they would still be right on the other. So that's the confusion that you even have about that. So that plays a part into it. So I'll give it over to
Yes,
So to address your question, sir, I'll go here, right? Asking why do we all have different days? One is because we all don't study together, right? We're all not in the same location where we can come to a certain location and really, really get this understanding. Two, I'll go to 2 Corinthians. I put it in the chat. 2 Corinthians 5:17. It reads this. Therefore, if any man be in Yahushua or the Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. So the things of old that was righteous for us, it will become new again for us so that there'll be no misunderstanding, no conflict of interest when it comes down to how we stand, how we talk. This is why the prophecy is going to be fulfilled the way it's going to be fulfilled. None of us, me, Tazariak, any of the camp brothers from any other camps, none of us have the power or the knowledge or the spirit of the Most High to bring us all together. That's for the Hamashiach to do, right? And this is why we have to do what we understand. Like, I'm not going to argue with Tazariak because they Passover is this month, right? I'm gonna say, man, as long as you're doing it, so be it. I'm gonna have mine in April, right? Where I understand spring to start, right? So this is where we have to just be able to have these conversations. But a lot of times, because of how they stand, we are the home of the truth, right? No other Israelite got it. That's hard to really build with brothers like that. You know, I love my brothers. No disrespect to nobody, but it's hard to build with brothers when they stand like that.
Okay, and see, this is the problem that I have, because I always try to bring some logic here and something to make our people think. If the Passover, for example, if Elder Yara was to get married to his wife, April the 6th, he can't celebrate the anniversary of he could, but the anniversary of his marriage would be April the 6th every year. If he tries to say, yo, we're going to celebrate on December the 6th, what are you talking about? That's not your anniversary, brother. You see? So that's what I'm saying. When you really use logic and you say, this is the day that we became free, somebody got to be wrong. Somebody got to be doing something all wrong and celebrating. That's all. It may not be a big deal, but this is what I did say. Something that you just said, though, General. You said that we need to come together. I said that earlier before y'all got on. I said the top Israelites should all come together and have a plebiscite and talk about what we're going to do. This is going to be the Passover month for all Israelites around the world. I think that's what the Israelites need to do. You know, what do y'all think about that, man? And that's showing forth and bringing forth y'all power, because that's what the Jews do. When the Jews celebrate their Hanukkah, everybody celebrates it all over the world. When the Jews celebrate their Passover, and I'm talking about the European Jews, all Jews all over the world celebrate the Passover the same time. So it should be the same way with our melanated brothers. Y'all should come up with a date and set that tone, man. Y'all got the power to do it. That's power. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I'll give it to Brother Commander General Yashar, because he was on a great line of thinking and understanding with that. So I'm going to let him continue his thought, because I know he got more what he just said, and then I'll come behind him if need be.
All right.
Absolutely. I agree with it. The problem is, is our pride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's it.
We very, very prideful. You know what I mean? And I understand it. You know what I mean? I understand where we come from when we do it the way that we do it. But in the same breath, right? Just like Paul had to humble himself. You know what I'm saying? Just like all of our elders who had authority, they were servants before they pushed any dictatorship, if that makes sense. When you look back, you don't see the dictatorship, you see servitude, right? Of course, some of our elders didn't serve with a smile, because we was on BS. So some of our elders, they showed their aggression, they showed their anger. Moses showed his anger towards our disobedience and our hard-headedness, stiff-neckedness. So when you see some of us, like myself, right, addressing certain things with a certain type of about myself, it's not about a disrespect or a hate towards the person, because I really don't know them to hate them. It's the spirit that I deal with, right? And it's going to come off like that person, like Brother eBay. I don't have nothing against that brother. He can jump on right now and we can talk. He get to talking about that Canaanite shit, I'm going to turn up again. It's not a hate for him. It's to dismiss the bull that's been pushed towards our nation of people that everybody else want to play games with. I don't play games with the scriptures. And Sar, when you met me, I wasn't disrespectful to you face to face.
Yeah, I met you in California. Did you know that, Elder Yara?
Yeah, I remember.
The brother had a beautiful bike. I don't know if you still got that, man. That joint was
I still got it.
Yeah, beautiful bike. It was blue, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice bike, man. What kind of bike was that? What was the name of that?
Kawasaki 750.
Yeah, that joint is banging. Bad.
Yeah, man. So that's just what it is. Our pride, once we can set our pride to the side, you know what I'm saying, especially coming from the top on down, then you're going to start to see the change. That's my understanding. You got it, Elder.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with Commander General Yashar that it's about pride. And once we realize that it's bigger than just wanting to be recognized. See, one thing about our people, and I'm just talking about Black people, right? I'm just talking about our people. One thing about our people is that we crave the wantingness of being recognized. We want people to know who we are.
So true. So true.
Yeah, and that's because of what we've gone through in this country, coming out of slavery, right? Wanting to be like the Joneses, thinking that the epitome of high living is being equal on the status of having to or being able to obtain the things that the white man has attained, right? Not understanding that for hundreds of years, especially in this country, the way that they have obtained things is about cruelty, murder, theft, destruction. And anytime we get something, as you see in Rosewood and different things like that, they would come and destroy it, right? As you would see in Black Wall Street, they would come and destroy it. But that was one of the things about Black Wall Street, I think people often overlook. They had, even though there was a strong Black community of people, you don't see any African motifs in Black Wall Street. There's no evidence that any ever existed. Even the people that survived, they didn't talk about African tribal history or stories of African tribal history being told, things being passed down from generation to that generation, even up until that time. But what you hear about is them having a wantingness to be equal to the white man. And because of that, they weren't armed and ready to even protect what they had built, because they thought if they can get on the level and look and act and talk like the white man, that the white man would accept them. And they come to find out that that is not the case. And so we have a lot of that with our people. Just like the other day, man, I was just looking, at when LeBron James went at Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, you saw that? That was crazy.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't tell me y'all don't have phone numbers. Y'all don't got each other's numbers.
Right, you do that right on national TV. Come on,
that on national TV.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so now, what do we look like? We still showing the same type of contention and divisiveness that you're talking about. And guess what? Neither one of them are claiming to be Hebrew Israelites. Right. Neither one of them are claiming to be Kemetic. So it's an issue with our people. You see? And how we view each other. I can't come. It's crazy to me for me to even utter out of my mouth to say I'm the only one with the truth, or the people that I study with are the only ones with the truth. Like, that's a psychosis there. That's not spirituality. That's a psychosis. You see?
Right.
Because what you're really saying is, you can't tell me anything, black man, unless you agree with what I agree with. You see? You can't build that way. You see? So these are the things that we have to learn how to deal with first, like internally as a people. That's why I said the other day on this channel, and a lot of Israelites didn't get what I said, but I'm gonna say it again. Some of us just take the fringes off. Just take the fringes off.
Yeah.
You see? Because you haven't dealt with who you are as a black man.
Hey, hold on. Elder Yara.
Yes.
General, Commanding General, look in the back chat, and so you can get my number and my email.
Okay.
I need you to email me your email so I can send you the link on Saturday. And Elder Yara, you know the debate for you this Sunday is at 1 o'clock, right?
It's at 1 o'clock.
Okay, it's at 1 o'clock. So
Yes, sir.
I'm getting ready to get up out of here, man. I'm gonna say thank you. I've been live for like not that long, but okay. I've been live for a minute, but I'm gonna see y'all brothers on y'all day, and I know y'all getting ready for this, man. We're gonna be on HOK in the debate Coliseum.
No doubt.
All right.
Peace.
All right. So peace and
That's
blessings.
me hitting you right now, sir.
Okay, got you. I'm gonna lock you in, brother.
All right.
Got you, man. All right, peace and blessings to y'all, man. Talk to y'all later.
Shalom.
Yeah.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. All right, y'all. I wasn't able to do the Ali Muhammad thing today because I wanted to just, take care of something. Jay, I'll talk to you later, Jay. I see you in the back, King Jay. But I'll give you a little, this is what I was going to show earlier. Because I know a lot of people didn't see this debate. This was an awesome debate right here, y'all. Y'all didn't see this goes back. This is back in the days. I'm digging in the creek. Digging in the creek. This is an excellent.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Sonetta Studios. We don't get no better than consciousness info. Sonetta TV7. You keep it hot 24/7. You got that black for 102. Sonetta TV2. Yeah.
You are now inside Sonetta Studios, the House of Consciousness production, Black News presentation.
So everybody want to ask that strap on your seatbelts because it's going to be a explosion of information. We ask that no one take anything personal because it's not a personal thing. And get pen and paper. I'll just leave it at that. I want to bring on brother.
Who do our brother look like, y'all? Is a singer. Who do he look like? I'm gonna see if y'all know. Who do he look like?
Dr. Ali Muhammad first, and he's going to begin his intro, which will be 20 minutes. After Brother Dr. Ali Muhammad's 20-minute intro, we're going to bring Brother Philip A. Muhammad's 20-minute intro. Then Brother Ali Muhammad is going to have his 45.
Yes, you got it. He looked just like Seal. Yep, you got it, brother. Just like Seal, man.
45 minutes to present the body of his argument. Then Brother Philip A. Muhammad is going to have 45 minutes to present the body of his argument. Then we're going to have a break for about 15, 20 minutes. And we're going to bring it back on with Brother Dr. Ali Muhammad's rebuttal, which will be 20 minutes. Brother Philip A. Muhammad's rebuttal, which will be 20 minutes. Then we're going to have a conclusion and a Q&A, question and answers, that'll be for about 30 minutes.
So I'm going to tell you, this debate was fire. It was fire. Ali went in, and I couldn't believe he was doing this in front of the Nation of Islam. It was more people in the Nation of Islam in the building. And Ali was going in on the minister, baby. When I tell you that he went in on the minister, oh, what the hell? I forgot all about this. What's this plate for? Muhammad teaches 600-year history? What? I forgot all about this one.
People live on Mars on the ground. 1960, 1940. That nigga crazy. 2001, the Mars rover goes up. They find, and I have the pictures, I've shown them, I did these lectures. They show the piping carrying irrigation down underground, water on Mars, trees on Mars.
All right, now Ali said they showed water on Mars and trees on Mars. I don't know about that, but hey, if they showed it, hey, that's crazy. And I think I heard Nepal said something else about that they were trying to build something where they'd be able to live on Mars. I don't know, but hey, it's sounding crazy.
This is belief. Robert uses to tell you that he's going to fix you and make you completely within the realms of health. Now this nigga never finished his own courses and he's inviting you into them.
Yo, he calling Farrakhan a nigga. in front of the nations, man. Ali, you got the heart, ready? You got heart. I'm telling you, you got heart. All right. Here go Philip Muhammad. I'm just going through it. I'm gonna play it for y'all. But this was a hell of a good debate.
He's making his mission known all over planet Earth. I would like to bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he's not just a representative. He's not just a minister. Look, man, let me know when I got 10 minutes left.
Yo, Philip, he went in. And that shows y'all on these debates right here, I had everybody involved in my debates, bro. When I was in the streets, we was doing live debates. Everybody was involved. And I'm going back to that. I'm going back to that this summer. But he was going in.
With students. So you can be a follower. I follow instructions. That's what a student does. But I'm not a follower. I am a student. So I bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is simply the best student that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has ever created. And what's bad is this. Envy and jealousy always convolutes a man who wants to be big. His mind gets wrapped up in himself before he studies enough to discover self. See, when you change your name over and over and over and over, see, I understand who put me in this suit. You know why? Because I'm still in it. Where's your suit? Obviously, this ain't good enough. See,
he talking to Ali Muhammad. He going to Ali. This is a fire debate, y'all. It's 3 and change. I got to put this on my Patreon. I ain't even put this joint up yet. I got to put this on the Patreon, give it to the people. And before this debate started, let me let y'all know, they surrounded me in the hallway. The nation surrounded me in the hallway. You know, they surrounded me. It was all love. There wasn't nothing bad, but they was going hard, trying to go hard at me, and I was going hard. It was nice. It was good. They was going hard at me, and I was going hard at them, and we had the cameras lit. It was on like firecrackers then, y'all. I'm telling you.
What did the messenger say this meant, brother? It said, I put my brothers in a blue suit, and I put on their shoulders the sun, moon, and star. See, you said something about the pale air. You said that we're supposed to be the next rulers. I understand that, brother. I understand we're God. The suit suggests and tells the world when we put it on. You see, this is beautiful. That we have come to rule. Now, the question is...
Now, I tell you, Dr. Ali Muhammad did not hold back any punches. Dr. Ali Muhammad was Ali Muhammad at this debate, y'all. He ain't pulled back no punches. When I say he went at Minister Farrakhan, he went at Minister Farrakhan. The topic of the debate was, is Farrakhan undermining the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad? Have Farrakhan deviated from the teachings of Elijah Muhammad? And Ali Muhammad, woo, he went in playing clips, playing audios, showing Farrakhan's own words. He went in.
Does Louis Farrakhan follow the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? I laid some basic work. This is the normal palette. You can take a look at it. We've done work on it before. If you want to look at this in detail, you have Narmer here. He's posted as a constellation.
Now, what the hell is Ali Muhammad doing showing comedic? What does that got to do with the nation? The nation didn't teach comedic science, brother.
Constellation.
The only one that did that was Khalid Abdul Muhammad, brother. Not Farrakhan or none of them.
It's called Orion. Okay? It sits between the constellations Gemini and Taurus. All right? And you have the royal falcon here with the lotuses, each
I didn't find it. You cannot
say such a thing. Wow. Not to the Islamic world, because then they'll think you're something. But I'm just your brother. See, we all just your brothers. Pay attention. Surah Al-Najm, by the star when it says, now Ramadan starts or commences when Prophet Muhammad was receiving revelation. So
Elijah Muhammad knew the black man and woman, and he knew how to train us better than any black man that ever lived. And unless we follow his guidance, we'll never be what we're supposed to be.
ouch, ouch. I'm confused now. Now, I have 6 children. If I brought them in here and listened, they would say, Daddy, I'm confused. Elijah Muhammad is the best teacher and trainer of men, and we follow his guidance, we're gonna be cool.
Told you he went at Farrakhan a little hard, man. And he was playing his audio, playing his stuff. Anyway, y'all, it's 3.5 hours long. That's part 1. Here's part 2. Here's part 2. Where we also have question and answers. And the audience, the people step up and, ask their question. Then there was a back and forth between the two. Here's the back and forth right here. Coleman coming up to the end, where these brothers was going back and forth.
What he's coming from, since I already know where he's coming from. So.
All right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to show this. This deserved to be on Patreon for all those supporters that support me on Patreon. I'm putting this up tonight, y'all. Peace and Black Power. This will be on my Patreon page at before 10 o'clock. It's 9:01 right now. Peace and Black Power. I'm out of here. I'm throwing it up on Patreon right now. Peace. For those of y'all who's on Patreon, y'all can go ahead and check it out before 10 o'clock. It's a 3.5 hour debate. Peace and Black Power. We out.